I want to talk about baggage. And I want to talk about the baggage that we all have. And I don't care what type of life you've lived. I don't care what lineage you come from. We all have some baggage, right? Because the people that raised us had baggage. So they superimposed that on us. And then we brought our perception into play. And then we created our own baggage. And from that, we based our opinions on, and our decisions on, and our beliefs on, and what we'll allow. And what I consider all of that to be is we create the philosophy for our life. And I think that that's a good thing. I think it's a good thing. I think everybody, in order to live successfully, has to have a philosophy for their life. What it is that they'll go for, what it is that they'll do, what their standards are. I think in order to live happily, everybody has to have one of those. Everybody has to have a philosophy for their life. But I think that also in having that philosophy for your life, I think that it needs to be evaluated, and often. I think that we need to ask ourselves, is this working for me? And when we ask ourselves, is this working for me? Be ready to be candidly, brutally, radically honest with ourselves to say if it's working for us or not, or to give that answer of if it's working for us or not. And I want you to look at your relationships and say, is my philosophy on this working for me? Look at your business and say, is this working for me? My philosophy of who I am and what I create my life around and the decisions that I make, is it working for me in business? And if you are honest with yourself and the answer is no, you have to change some things. Otherwise, you will continue living out the same results, just recreating different people, scenes, and scenarios in your lives. So, for example, if we're talking about a relationship, I've heard many people say, oh, there are no good men, or all men are like this, or whatever the case may be. And they get into a relationship with someone, and sure enough, the thing that they fear the most happens in that relationship. And then it becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy of, see, I told you, all men are like this. But we never consider the fact that our baggage brings the people who we're with to that point. Now, am I saying they're off the hook for anything? Absolutely not. We're all responsible adults, and we are all responsible for ourselves. But what I'm talking about is your role in the scenario that you're in. In this case, the relationship. You create situations where the thing that you fear the most happens because you act out of that philosophy all the time. And so the next logical step in the relationship is that thing you feared. And you create that. I believe that we're co-creators in this world or in our lives. And I believe that we create those situations. I hear it so often. And it doesn't mean that I am extinct from this. It just means that I am self-reflective. And I try every time something happens or that I help to create something in my life, I look at it and say, what did I bring to the table in this? How did I contribute to this? I understand that nothing is out to get me. I understand that there is no force of evil that is just waiting to pounce me, right? I understand that I have a say in what I participate in. I have been given knowledge. I've had experiences. I have had situations that I have come into in my life that I should have learned from and need to apply to the to the situations that are going on now. So there we go. So what it does is it makes me wiser going forward. And I know that I'm getting wiser and I know that I'm getting better because of how I feel. We're all born with an internal gauge called our feelings. And you'll know when something is good to you and good for you because you'll feel a certain way. What we need to do is to work on honoring the feelings it is that we have, right? So that was my husband letting me know it's time for my daughter to play. So I'm going to cut this short because she is my priority. But I just thought I would share that in hopes that it perhaps created a light bulb for you that said, perhaps I can look at things differently for the betterment of my experiences and even those people around me. So I hope that this was something that could help you, okay? So I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.